We back, y'all. Part two on my baby daddy and my pregnancy, my little boy. Y'all, I don't have wine this time. Had to put that up. I'm drinking my turmeric tea. Well, honey, I have HS, and we'll talk about that at a later time. What it is, what I do for it, all of that stuff. But okay, y'all. So I'm pregnant. I've talked to my mom, I talked to my daddy, tried to have an abortion. It was a no go. Baby daddy tried to play me to the left. But he took responsibility, or I guess he was with it. But that's when things started to change. That's when I really started to see, you know, that he was just a young man still living his life. He wasn't ready to be a father. And although we were in a relationship, um, he was still doing his thing. He was still doing his thing. He was started treating me really bad. Um, deal with other girls, all of that stuff. So y'all, I was 6 months pregnant. I'm not sure how many weeks I was. I know I was under 32 weeks. It's a fly in here, y'all, but when I catch that fly, it's good as dead. But y'all, I went to the doctor just for a regular visit. And while I was waiting, before they opened, we were standing outside, a bunch of pregnant girls, women. I started to get really sick. First time, first and only time. Yeah, I had the perfect pregnancy. I was never sick. I think I threw up once, and that was in the beginning. I was never sleepy. I was never tired. None of the pregnancy side effects, none of that stuff. So, I got sick. Um, I just felt like really dizzy, like I was gonna pass out. And the ladies were nice enough to let me go, to the head of the line so I could see the doctor first. Um, and y'all, anybody that knows me knows that this is, you know, it's a tough subject for me. But anyways, the doctor examined me. Um, he could not tell my heartbeat from my baby's. And y'all know, any, body that knows anything about a baby or being pregnant, you know, their heartbeat is like through the roof really fast. So he said that, they were going to have to send me to the hospital, to be examined or monitored. Um, so, okay, I'm scared, I'm a young girl. I don't know anything. I'm a baby having a baby. But shit got real. Shit got real for me that day. That's when my life really changed. So I told my mama, and she was a woman of her word. Um, she didn't go with me. She sent my aunt and my cousin. We went by my son's father's house, and he was there with some girl. He didn't go. I can't even remember what the bitch told me. So my aunt, I didn't say anything, I didn't even acknowledge it. Everybody knew what was going on in my aunt. She gave me a talk. She told me just a life talk. So I went on, you know, they monitored me, still couldn't figure out what was going on. So they brought in a pediatric cardiologist. And he explained to me, that he thought my son had a, heart disease. It was called prolonged QT syndrome. And that I was gonna have to have an emergency C-section, and that the best thing they could do for him is just to, do an emergency delivery. Again, I'm a baby. I don't really understand what he's telling me. I'm scared, but what was I to do? It was no turning back. So they rushed me to another hospital. Um, I remember this was at the first hospital. I was already stressed out, didn't know what was going on. I was scared. I remember the nurse trying to give me the IV in my hand. I was scared. I was crying. My hand was pouring blood, and she kept sticking. She kept sticking. I was scared to get IVs to this day because of that. My aunt go down and she said, "Not another damn time. Do if you don't know what you doing, you go get somebody that do. But you will not stick her not another damn time." Y'all, I was stressed out. Anyways, rushed me to the hospital, to the other hospital. They prepping me. I'm telling my aunt I can't do this. She, what you gonna do, girl? Like, what you gonna do? She was looking at me like, you crazy? She was like, you here now? You know, we talked about praying and stuff. Cause one day by my family, they may be a lot of things, but they some praying people. Y'all, I was so scared. Yeah, I was so scared. So she asked me if I wanted her to go back there with me. I don't know why I said no. I think it was still humiliated, shame. Just they took me back there, and I prayed. I did what my grandmother taught me. I did what my mama taught me. I prayed, and I was a young girl. I was so scared. And I was back there. It was just me and the nurse, and she was so sweet. I don't know who she is, but that was the sweetest person, the sweetest nurse. She held my hand. I was sick. I kept throwing up, but I had my baby, little boy, and I didn't get to see him. I remember, that he had a lot of hair, but that's all. It took him a minute to cry, but I did hear the cry, and then they immediately rushed him out. And the doctor told me um, about all of I can't even think of the word, y'all. All of the things that could happen, from delivering him early. They told me that there was a chance because, it was a premature birth that, and he hadn't reached, 32 weeks yet, that there was a chance, that he could develop cerebral palsy, which he did. Um, he ended up staying in the hospital for 3 months. For 3 months. Um, was was hard. It was hard. But, I went home. My mother, told me she prepared me as much as she could. And y'all, my mother was a hard woman. But in no way, am I blaming her for my mistakes. I would never do that. And I'm glad she was the way she was. I'm glad that she made me walk the road she made me walk. I'm glad she was, as hard as she was on me. Because at some point, she was no longer going to be here, with me. And she was preparing me. And I'm so happy for her. Yeah, I'm gonna take a break, and then we'll talk about my little boy. I ended up naming him Sharif. We'll talk about him and what life was like with him and his father. Um, it wasn't easy. It was not easy at all. And this is the first time that I'm really, really talking about it. It was hard. But let me tell you something about your girl. I was a hell of a young mother. I strapped them boots up. And I did my job. And y'all hear all about it. Just, give me a few minutes to get myself and my thoughts together. I love y'all. I'll be back.